Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing good. So probably one of the happiest day that for fans out there, because the Skyline is finally available and it comes in two beautiful colors, the pink and the black. It has 8GB RAM edition and a higher variant at 12GB of RAM. The memory option is either at 128 or 256, and this time around HMD Global is not playing with this anymore because the memory is expandable thanks to the micro SD expansion slot, and this is a dual SIM device. Now upfront, I just want to say that the Skyline is not with me, it is still in transit, so when it arrives I'll be sharing with you, but this is just some official spec sheet that I want to share with you and what was shown to us in the media briefing earlier. Now it's hard to go through the hardware without actually addressing the design of the HMD Skyline. Now in the past we've actually sort of felt that we were not up to par when it comes to design, because the design of the previous HMD devices was sort of generic, and this time around we have something unique, something that goes back to the Finnish tradition and something which is really iconic to Nokia in the past. So we're seeing the return of a Fabula-like design. This seems like an evolved design. So for those of you not familiar with the Fabula design, it was actually made popular with the Nokia N9, and this is in fact an evolved design from the Nokia N8, and the design evolved further with Lumia, and I have to say that Skyline probably resembles closely to the design principle of the Lumia 925, because the Skyline has an aluminium frame with a polycarbonate back. Now iFixit has mentioned that the Skyline is a device that was designed from the ground up to be easily repairable. Combine this with the Fabula-like design, it's not an easy task, but HMD Global managed to create one that is beautiful in design, but also a device that is easily repaired. So when it comes to the repairability part, the Skyline actually scores 9 out of 10, probably one of the easiest repairable phone in the planet, and it is even in fact 65% more easier to repair and access compared to the Nokia G22. So with a device that is easily replaceable, easily accessible, it has to have certain compromise to be made. So this is where the IP52 rating comes in. So you can't expect a higher IP rating for a device that is easily replaceable, repairable like the Skyline. So it's totally understandable, but as long as you treat the device as you treat any other device out there, the Skyline is probably just going to be the same as any other device out there in the market. Now the Skyline has like I said, a beautiful display in the front. This time around we have one of the best displays ever on an HMD device. So 6.55 inch POLED display at 144 Hz refresh rate, and this display is capable of HDR playback and has 1000 nits of brightness. So one of the brightest display out there, and probably the brightest display ever on an HMD device. Now when it comes to multimedia capability, I'm sure that the HMD Skyline will do brilliantly well because of its stereo audio playback, and with the HDR capable display, this is something that you're all going to be enjoying. So I'm going to compare that display with the X30 and see how much more have they improved, given that the X30 was launched quite some time back. Now there's also the presence of the additional button which is programmable, and HMD has said that you can use this button for a camera action button, so a dedicated camera button if you at all you want it to be so, and you can actually assign that button to launch any specific application, do a specific task. Single click or double click can be used to have various purposes. So the third button is something that I'm eagerly want to test whether or not it supports dual shutter or a two-stage camera button. Probably not, but something that I want to test on further. Now it does not have a 3.5mm head jack, and the power button now has the fingerprint scanner built into it. So you might be wondering why not have it in the display like the Nokia X30. This is to keep the cost low, and for the same reason it's using Corning Gorilla Glass 3, not Victus this time around, because to keep the cost low. So the price of the display is at about £89, which means it's really affordable. You can change the display at any time around, and if you're like me, I'll be definitely putting an additional tempered glass on the display anyhow. So when it comes to protection, I think I'll just protect it like any of my previous devices and I'm good to go. Now probably what's interesting here is the Qi wireless is returning back. This is Qi 2 this time around, 4600 mAh battery, which you can charge at 33 watts with the brick charger or wirelessly charge at 15 watts. And what's more interesting is we're seeing a reverse wireless charging for the first time for the HMD device, so you can finally charge your Nokia earbuds with ease, and this really complements the existing ecosystem. Now there is a detox mode, something that I'm eager to test out. I think it's self-explainable what detox mode is, but whether or not this actually increases the battery life is something that I'm eager to test out as well. So finally, we come to the camera part of the device. I've got some samples, official samples from HMD Global to share, but this is a triple camera setup, one of the most powerful camera setup ever. This time around, no gimmicky sensors at all. 108 megapixel OIS sensor capable of hybrid stabilization, and this is a Samsung sensor. We have a 50 megapixel telephoto sensor capable of 4 times of zoom, and also an ultra wide at 13 megapixel. The front facing camera is a 50 megapixel camera capable of eye detection and as well as 4K recording. So these are all things that are interesting. These are all the things that we've been asking for. A very powerful package, a beautiful design. The Skyline is the answer that we've been waiting for. And if you have any question to be asked, just put up in the comment section below. Once the device arrives, I will be doing a very thorough comparison and review, and hopefully this time around we get the device that we've all been waiting for. So with that,